Welcome inside the Paris Sea Palace, high above 2919 East Broadway. This is the Jake Feinberg Show on Power Talk 1210 KEVT, Sahuarita, Tucson. Thank you so much for making us part of your program today, and it's an honor to welcome back one bad motor scooter back to the Jake Feinberg Show. Dr. Lonnie Smith, welcome, my friend.
Good morning. How are you?
Nice. Good morning. Yeah, we're just getting out of bed, but how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
You know, Lonnie, can you tell me a story about when a good Donny Hathaway story?
Donny Hathaway? I don't know too much. We weren't really close.
Mm-hmm. Did you was he a guy that you would check out on the radio and listen to? Did you get off on his stuff? I mean, as far as the vocals.
Oh, I loved it. I love his sound. And I had a friend, Larry Fraser, that played guitar with him. So I've caught him and everything. But, I never was close to him, but loved his music.
Can you talk about to the audience a little bit about your development of lyrics and songs? How you put that together?
Sure. When I'm basically sitting at the keyboard or something, or I hear something, I'll play it, and then once you play it, it looks like the words just come out at you, just jump right at me, rather. Because that's the way I speak, the way I talk. So when I'm playing, it talks to me. It talks back to me. It tells me everything. So that's why I hear the lyrics like that. And it's a great feeling because you can actually hear it when I write lyrics. I wrote a tune when I was a young teenager, and I was in love with this young lady, and I used to write her all the time. I used to love to write poems and poetry and stuff, and it was called "I Can See the Light." Could you imagine that? The words in there was, it was really, I can see light overhead, shining through the darkness, making me dread. But oh, what a beautiful sight. Counting every star in the sky. It may sound foolish, but it's making me cry. But what a wonderful sight. Now, I was a young teenager. It's really, it tells me exactly what to say.
That's beautiful. I mean, and that's the stuff that would just jump out at you.
Oh yes, and it's like I was a teenager. And I was writing things like that. Oh mirror up above, did she love me? Mirror up above. No, a mirror in the sky. Let us see what it was. I haven't played it, or did she love me or did she lie? Oh, mirror up above, let her see that it's her that I love. It says, then arose the dawn in the early morn. A face appeared, a shape was appeared, and a face was born. That's what it was. Oh, what a beautiful sight.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was she any of those? I mean, we're talking to a legendary musician and quite a ladies' man himself, actually. I mean, that Drives album. Was that the woman that you were writing about at that time?
No, that was long before that.
I know,
it
was.
I was a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
I was a teenager, youngster. Isn't that something?
Well, I mean, did you ever press that song on a record?
Never. I still remember it. Oh, these songs is something else. And then a lot of times you also write I might think of something that's beautiful or something that's bad.
Right.
And you can write. Or something that's sad or something that's happy. And that's where you let it go. You just let it go, let it flow. And it'll come right out. It tells you exactly what to say.
Dr. Lonnie, so many iconic albums on Blue Note and other, and I wanted to ask you a very simple question. You would cut the albums, maybe Rudy Van Gelder Studios or wherever. Did you, as a musician, did you have any control of post-production as a black musician? Can you tell me about how you dealt with that?
Well, I had the best. I really had the best because, just like I said, Rudy was, I did what I did, just like a quarterback or a pitcher or a catcher.
Right.
Everyone has a position, and they knew what they did, and they knew what to do. And then I had John Hammond, at Columbia, and then Frank Wolfman was a master at that stuff, at Blue Note. So I was lucky because they knew, and that was very difficult then because you had tapes that they something might be too long or they need to take out. They would clip it out. And it's not like the digital stuff now. They just hit something that's not. If they don't like it, they can cut that out just by hitting a little button.
That's right. And this was more. This was much more like like a kind of a sharp clip. They didn't have that kind of technology. But you're going to
no.
Yeah, right.
You had to clip that.
Right. There was never ever a time in your record career when you became a leader that you were steaming hot, that you couldn't get in and have some input on the. To me, it would be fascinating because again, you go out and you pitch a game and you go 8 2/3, or you pitch a really quality game and you don't remember how you got through it, but you did a really good job, right? And then you get the record, right? And then you get the record, and it's not. Sometimes it come out. It's not even the way you thought it was. That's right.
Exactly. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am. I'm back with Blue Note Records, and Don was. And
right.
They're giving me that where I can say if I don't like a certain thing, I want a certain thing out, or it's too long or something. You have the input. But back in the day, when I were with some of the other companies, you say, "How did that get there?" You don't even know how it got there. No, I'm serious.
I know.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I know.
This record, this record I did is called, what's the name of this thing? It was called Do It. It was called Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, right. When he's thumping on the floor like Bigfoot, or the Bigfoot the animal, right? And when it came out, the record, it came out with some singers on it, and it wasn't nothing like what I had envisioned.
They had overdubbed voices on it?
It's entirely different.
Huh.
And I did, what's that record I did? Gotcha. Gotcha, I don't even know the little kid was on the cover, was jumping some rocks, and the water was in front of it. I never seen him. I don't even know who he is. Some people think it's me, but it was not me. I don't know the kid. He's probably a grandfather himself now.
Right.
It's amazing.
Well,
No,
I'm really,
it's rough.
I'm fascinated about the psychological part of it because my generation and younger generations, I mean, we want, rightfully so. I mean, anybody that's tampering with our stuff or doing stuff with it, you know, we want to have a little bit of say in that. And
That's right.
right?
I remember talking to Stevie Wonder,
Uh-huh.
and he said, we were talking, he was saying the same thing. Don't let them do that to you, you know, because that's what happens. You go on the road, you're still traveling. When you come back, the record is out. You don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
you have to be there. You have to be there. You should be there and have acknowledged of what's going on. They definitely shouldn't do anything without your approval. Definitely. Never let them do anything without your approval.
Yeah, no, my question is because were you not even aware that that was something that you were being, I don't want to say you were being taken advantage of, but I mean, were you looking at it saying, hey, my family, I'm elevating economically, my career is continuing, so okay, yeah, this song, it's not the best, I didn't know that they were going to do this to it, but I'm just going to let it roll because quite frankly, you know, I'm moving on up.
That's what happens. That's what happened in a lot, man, a lot of things. And see, because just like I said, excuse me, I was traveling and moving around a lot, so you have to be there. You know, if you're not there, who knows what goes on. You know, they might take this person out. You know, like you're playing with me, right?
Right.
You're traveling with me on the road, up and down the road for years. Now there's a recording. And when the recording come out, you're not on there. And yet still you play with me. Now, you know that's not right.
No, I know.
No, that's not right. Regardless whether they like it, is how you feel about that. You know what I'm saying? You are part of my family also, you know. So I use you on the road because I love you playing with me because I love the way you play. I love something about it that I love. It might not be what so-and-so like, but I like it, and it makes me feel good. But you'd be surprised. A lot of things go on in the business. That's what got me turned off about the business. I don't like the business end of music. I love to play music, but the business, it can be rough.
Did you can you tell me a little bit? Did you ever play at the Jockey Club in Atlantic City?
Atlantic City? No, I played at Club Harlem.
Club Harlem. I mean, was there ever a time when like Jimmy Smith would come in and you guys would kind of give each other a hard time?
Jam together and have fun.
Yeah, because Jimmy, I mean, the guy.
Not there.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, tell me about.
Not there at that club. No. Other clubs we would. You know, I'd be at Count Basie's or something, or some other place. He would come and do that, or I would go where he's at. And, yep, we all used to do that, have fun. You know, when we meet. That was a lot of that going on back in the day.
Yeah, the idea of having, like, being in a pretty small club with two B3 organs at the same time is pretty ferocious.
Well, we didn't do it like that. What we did is, like, we would get on the stage, like we see each other, hi, how you doing? And before you know it, we come up on stage and like you be playing, I'll stick my hand, scoot you over a little bit, sit beside you and play like that. You know, then the other one would stick over and back and stick his arm over.
Wow.
And we just have fun like that, yeah.
Jimmy was a character, though, right? I mean, would he come up and kiss you?
Oh, yes.
Give you a big hug? Was he...
Yes, he was.
Oh, I love it.
He was. If he knew you, if he didn't, If he didn't, you would know it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him like cats would come up and tell me, say, he didn't say nothing to me, cursed me out, and he was trying to be friendly, No, some people he just wouldn't talk to or didn't like. Yeah.
Did you talking to Dr. Lonnie Smith here on the Jake Feinberg Show? I mean, Lonnie? Can you talk as a leader how you dealt with cats that maybe were overly sensitive or really weren't picking up on cues, or even in a situation where you faced adversity as a leader? You seem to have such a I mean, I've never met you personally. I've seen you play, but just talking to you, I mean, such a warm. It's just hard for me to sort of see you cracking the whip. But I know that I'd like you to talk about a time in your career where you had to make a tough choice as a band leader, and it made you stronger as a leader.
Mm-hmm. I have. First of all, my manager, Jimmy Boyd, he passed. He used to say, you fire guys, we're not going to have no music to play with because you always fire some. Well, what happened? You are terrible. What happened? One little young fella, he was a really monster of a percussionist. His name was Joe Dukes. He used to play with Jack McDuff, and then he started playing with me.
He was a drummer. He was a
but he couldn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he could play. Oh, but he could not drink. And when he would drink, he would get obnoxious, out of the way. This one time we were in Detroit, and Dave Hubbard and myself and Larry McGee, guitars. Larry McGee saw a bunch of people, the place is really crowded, so he told the manager, he says, I want a $50 raise. I need a raise. And he said, else I'm out of here. So I told him, I say, no, bye. Tell him bye. Because that's not the way to talk to me. Else I'm, it's like threatening me, right?
Right.
So the drummer, Joe Dukes, we sitting around the club waiting for him. Now the only person that's there is Dave Hubbard and myself. We sitting around, the place packed. 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, he still didn't show. So I say, Dave, well, we'll just go and play just you and I. So we went up on stage, and we were playing. And so the next day, I went to his room, knocked on his door. He came to the door, and I first of all, I say, I could see what happened. But I asked him, I say, what happened? How come you didn't call me or let me know something? Because if you call me, I can make some arrangements.
That's right.
But he said, well, you see what happened. What had happened, he had went out that night and was hanging around before the job, and some fellas jumped on him. And his face was like really huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has, so I says, you fired. I feel like Donald Trump then. I said, you fired.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe that. And he was really hurt. And he begged me not to fire me because I saw what was done to him. I said, the reason I'm firing you because you're not only messing with my job, but you're messing with the other fella's job too that's playing with me. See, when you come in a venue and you're playing and you have, I don't care if you have 7, 8 pieces, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. When you're coming in with a quartet or a quintet or whatever, the at the venue, they want to see just that because that's what you said you would have. So I told him he was fired.
I thought you were...
I fired another guy. He was 15 minutes late. I told him he was fired. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that he...
One was worse than that. I was in New York, and he could play. But what happened, you have a 3-part harmony. If you play a 3-part harmony, everyone has a part to play. Now, you playing that part, but he was floating all around the part that he was supposed to be playing. So it wasn't the harmony that I wanted. And he would do that constantly, and I say, I didn't want to let the people know, right? So I say, I'm playing in New York. I got up, and I stopped the band. We went down the basement, and I told him, don't you ever do that again. You know, he said, what did I do? I say, you playing around the melody when I wanted the 3-part harmony there. After that, you can do what you want to do on your solo. But I didn't stand for that at all. I was nice, but I was like, you know, I let them get away with it for a while, but because I would be quiet, you know. And then I had my way of letting them go, you know. I would definitely let them go.
If you had advice to a younger person who has a, you know, really talented player in his band that tends to drift and not follow what the leader wants, what would be your advice? Is to sort of let you say be quiet, but notice it, and then eventually when you're done, you make your decision and you're firm about it. Can you? That's what I'm getting from you?
Well, right. I have like the same little fellow, Joe Dukes, we were playing, and he had been getting high, so we playing, and he, you know, was doing some stuff over there that didn't work with what I was doing. So, and he was messing up because he was high. So I told the guitar player, I whispered to him while we're playing. So, you know, without moving your mouth like a ventriloquist, right? and you're looking at the audience like you're not saying anything. Tell him to get off the drums. And so he said, I said, get off the drum. He looked at me and then did it again. I said, tell him I said, get off the drum. So he did it again. I got up from the organ. People waited, looking at me. They don't pay their money. And I got up and took his sticks out of his hand.
Wow.
And ran him off the stage.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Another one. See, you go through these things. Like I had a little fella, he was playing, and I'm playing a waltz, a 3/4, you know. So he started playing like, just say, for instance, Luzette or something, right? Do 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 ba do do dee da do da do da. Pretty song, right? And he decided to say, dum dum ding dum 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 ding dum 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 ding dum dum ding, because it's bluesette, but he gonna play a shuffle, dum dum ding dum ding, you know, like a blues. I said, oh no. I told him, get off the stage. And the club owner says, why did you run him off the stage? I say, well, he knows. I'm not going to tell you, but he knows exactly why. You see, I try not to do anything that'll hurt his feeling in front of people, but sometimes it happens. Now, if a fella is playing something, I'll wait, and I'll tell them what they're doing wrong. I told one guy, I say, you about the worst bass player I ever seen. I heard. He said, and he started laughing because he thought I was joking.
Right.
And the guitarists remember that, and he started laughing. He started laughing. I say, and then I told him why. How he could better himself. Because he could play, but his timing was a little rough. So when he played, it didn't groove the way I wanted it to, or that it should have grooved. So I told him, I said, you work with a metronome about 2 or 3 years. Don't you play with anybody until you get that timing together.
Wow.
I will tell a guy in a way where it's, and then if they're not cutting it when we're playing, you just tell them what they're doing wrong. You really want to tell them. You don't want them to think that they're doing great when they're not. You tell them why. Why. Just don't tell them, no, get off, bye. No, you tell them why. Help them along,
Did you, who were a couple of guitar players specifically? Because, I mean, the interesting part of it is the piano, organ, and the guitar, those chords can clash a lot. And
yes, they can.
They can clash, and I'm like, I'm looking back, and were there, I guess, more to the point, not so much people that you fired, but were there people that you salvaged that wound up playing with you for many years? And
oh yeah.
Can you talk about one of those guitar players? Because I always loved the fact. Yeah, go ahead.
You loved who? What did you love? I want to hear what you love.
Well, what I love is that beautiful introduction of the organ and guitar together. That wasn't always a popular thing. Guys like Melvin Sparks. Melvin Sparks came.
Perfect marriage. George and I can hit right now, and it look like sound like we've been playing forever together. Like we never stop. Perfect marriage. We don't have to even talk. Perfect marriage.
Right.
And Melvin. See, now George had a different style. He would comp, and he had a lot of comping going on. Now, how many guys can get away with that?
Not
Just
many.
like you were saying,
right?
Because they were class,
right?
But he would do it, and it would work.
Wow. Jeez,
He would.
incredible.
I don't know how he did, but he did it, and it worked. If anybody else tried it, it would not work. Melvin Sparks. Hassan, what he called himself, that he worked well with me. Richie Hart was another one that worked well with me. I had quite a few. Rodney Jones. I had another fella out of Philly, Curtis Weaver. Normally these guys, they know how to follow me without messing it up, because they listen. And it's just like, like people bassists try to copy Jocko, right?
Right.
Now the thing about it, but they get the wrong impression of Jocko. Now, what happens is the group, when a Weather Report was an ensemble-like group, they knew what to play. And so Jocko, all that he played, it was basically he knew where to put it, the space. He knew where to use that. And a lot of guys didn't. So they would play, and they would be in the way. Yeah, it's hard when you got playing with the different cats of chords, because chords where you play a certain chord, it's going to be voiced different with a guitarist. The way it's going to be in a different register, and the way they voice it is a little different sometimes. So without clashing, they have to listen and follow it that way without making it sound like mud.
Well, Lonnie, we we have to. We're coming up on a hard break here. I just wanted to ask you: Are you? I really hope we can get you to the state of Arizona. I would love to meet you in person and do another interview with you. Southern Arizona, preferably. But you're a hero to me, mainly because you're just a beautiful human being. I mean, it's I love your playing, but you're just I think what you spelled out today was direct leadership, and I think it's really important in our time with younger cats in all fields to hear about someone like you who, you gotta draw that line. And I just really appreciate you taking the time today. And I talked to Lou Donaldson earlier this morning. He sends you a big hello, and we'll be in touch, man. I hope I get a chance to meet you in person someday.
We will do it. And you have to be a great follower to be a great leader. Listen and learn.
I dig. All right, Doctor. Have a beautiful day.
Okay.
All right.
You bet. You too.
All right.
Talk to you again now.
All the best.
All right.
We'll be right back on the Jake Feinberg Show.